Hi guys, we're here with Ryan, who's going to be doing his Herald of Perfection deck profile, right? So let's just get on with it, I guess.
Alright, so the main card of the deck is the main cards of the deck are 3 Heralds of Perfection. This deck is dedicated to turboing Herald out, so you don't run any less than 3.
You need to max out, yeah.
It's, for those who don't know what it does, it's a pretty fantastic card that can negate almost anything multiple times per chain. There are a few things that it can't negate, such as inherent summoning effects. It can't stop continuous spells after they've been activated. But basically any kind of activation of an effect it can stop. So you can understand why he's a deck that's made to turbo it out.
Yeah.
So now we move on to Cyber Angel Benton, and the Cyber Angels basically provide, specifically Benton, really provide the engine that allows this deck to function. Cyber Angel Benton, when it's a level 6, so when it's tributed, you get to search for any like fairy, which is pretty good. You know, that can search. It is a deck of light fairies, so you can search almost everything off it, almost anything in your deck off it. So really, Benton and Herald, they form the main combo of the deck. When I get to the spell, I'll kind of go through that a bit more. So next, we have Cyber Angel Iderton. So like Benton, she has an effect when she's tributed. Iderton boosts all ritual monsters' attacks by 1,000 attack and defense, which is quite situational, which is why I'm only running 1, and because Benton gives a search, Benton generally is the better card, but Iderton does add a bit of utility. This deck, it's strong, high attacks on its strength, so certainly a card like this definitely helps with that. And it's especially satisfying to use her multiple times a turn, because that attack boost then stacks. So basically what you end up with is a monster that can negate almost anything that's sitting on 3,800 attack.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But she is situational, so I'm only running 1. So next we have something that's very standard to anyone who's played Herald, is the stick and chair combo. So this combo is like essentially the main draw power of the deck. It is a tiny bit bricky because it requires 2 cards that don't do much on their own. However, they're not terribly hard to get out, because as I said, with Benton you can search kind of almost any card in your deck. So often you'll open with kind of one of these, and you'll have the right cards to search out your Herald Benton combo. So then you can do stick and chair, plus 2 off it. You get a shit ton of draws off this, and you get a powerful XZ or possibly a link off it, and then I'll go more into that later.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's stick and chair.
And you have to run 3 because you want to see it as much as possible.
Yeah, you have to run 3. Before I was actually running 2 Sovereignty, mainly because I didn't want to spend that much money, because these are like £5 a piece. Because I really try to not spend too much. But since adding a 3rd one, it makes, one problem before is you need 2 of these for the combo to work. So having these 3 means that you have more flexibility. You can discard that for a Herald negate. Oh yeah, that's something I probably should have mentioned, that the cost for Herald is to discard a light fairy. So this deck is really built around kind of getting that hand generation. So this draw combo is important, and things that add fairies to your hand, such as the Benton common, are very important. Yeah, so having 3 of these is adds flexibility, and it can even allow you to kind of do this combo twice under certain circumstances, which is pretty satisfying, and you draw like crazy off it, so it's a very solid choice to run. I've seen very few builds that kind of don't run that. So next, and this is pretty standard, is 3 Manjus, simply because you don't normal summon too often in this deck, so certainly your normal summons are generally going to be either this or in 2-star Seraph Scepter, which initiates the combo. Manju, again, it's a card that can search almost anything in your deck when it's summoned, or it searches your main combo pieces, it searches any ritual monster or ritual spell. Again, that's just good in this deck. Again, everything is about searching out your combo pieces to do this Herald Benton combo. So next, to be honest, fairly self-explanatory. You're playing a bunch of light monsters that don't have a huge amount of attack. Honest is very useful for getting over those big monsters. It adds much needed versatility and attack power, and you know, some people can be in a good position, then attack into you, and you want. I don't need to explain Honest too much, it's fairly simple. So this is, and then the next thing is something that's a bit more, I think, unique to my deck is I play Eva along with these two cards. Now, Eva, when it's discarded, you can banish two fairies from your graveyard to search out 2 level 2 or lower fairies that aren't Eva from your deck. So basically, what I do is I do the combo between Benton and Herald to search out Eva. Then when my opponent tries to do anything, when you want to negate something, you discard Eva. So then off Eva, you can then get 2 more searches by banishing 2 light fairies from your grave, which you probably will have. So basically, this card is 3 negates for the price of 1, which is very, very powerful. These cards on their own are also quite good. Certainly Petty's Angel, it's something that can search for basically any Cyber Angel card when it's summoned. It's level 2, meaning that this field spell Ritual Sanctuary, it can be summoned off that very easily, and when it does that, I then get a search. Herald of Orange Light, less useful. It's a pretty terrible hand trap, but at the same time it is a tuner, so it happens for synchro plays. And also, you need one that has a different name. I don't think they can be the same card. So next, another thing is I'm only running 1 of these for the main reason of just for this combo requires 3 cards that I don't really ever want to draw. I don't want to draw any of these cards. I want to search Eva off my combo, and that's the only time I ever want to see it. So running 2 or even 3, which I have seen in some builds, seems really questionable to me, especially because a lot of the time you only need 1 of this combo. That's 3 negates. With this deck, you want to turbo out Herald and just have as much resources in your hand as possible to then just stop your opponent from doing anything, and then you attack the game. There's not really any other time that you need more Eva, and again, you don't. When you draw into these, it's breaky. So you only run 1. So next,
and you can search into it anyway with Benton and stuff.
Yeah, you can search onto it. That's why, one of my, I don't want to call it philosophy because that sounds pretentious, but when I build decks, especially with something like Herald, I really think about there are a lot of cards that you only really want to run 1 of because you can search it so easily. You don't there's no use hoping you draw into it.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Like, the card you want to draw into your combo cards, which you then use to search for these other extra cards. So finally, there's a Barrier Statue of the Heavens. So this is, you can side this, but it's a very, very useful card in this deck simply because it shuts down it really shut down almost any kind of non-light deck. Because it just stops them from special summoning completely. So there's a combo you can do with Ties of the Brethren, where you special summon out 2. You have control on level 4, use Ties, special summon out Honest, and then this card, add Honest back to your hand, and that puts you into a position where your opponent can't special summon anything, and if they normal summon something and try and attack over Barrier, you just Honest them. It's a very simple combo, but it can just shut down some decks, especially if you have a Herald on the field. A hand where you just have Ties and you just do that is not great, and yet that can still shut down decks.
Yeah.
So having Herald on top of that is pretty fantastic and is not an uncommon thing in this deck. So Barry said, obviously side this out when you're going up against a deck that can deal with it, or that's a light deck, because in that case it's completely useless, but it's a very, very good card. So now we move on to spells and traps. Just spells, I guess. There's no traps in this. So I run 3 pre-prep and 3 prep.
Obviously, you want to search out all your stuff.
This search pre-prep is a +1.
Yeah.
It's an instant +1. Prep. Again, these cards are very versatile and they can search a lot of they search your main combo pieces. This will kind of add both Dawn, Herald, and its ritual spell. This can add Benton or kind of a Herald, whatever bit you're missing. not much more to explain. Don't run any less than that. It's useless.
In a ritual deck, you've got to run as many of those as you can.
Yeah, you need your searches because Herald or ritual decks need that searching power. And on the topic of searching power, there's also ritual. You supplement that with 3 ritual sanctuaries. A very powerful card. You discard spell cards to search for more ritual things. So again, that's relatively general. Like many other cards in this deck, you have a lot of when you search, you have a lot of freedom in what you can search, and that's really one of the key strengths of this deck. And one of the things that adds to its versatility, you can think a lot about what kind of combo you want to do, and what's the best way to get Herald, and what's the most efficient way. And this is the card that enables it. Now it also has a second effect that people tend to use less, and some decks some people just seem to ignore completely, but you can shuffle spells from your graveyard into your deck to special summon I think it's a fairy that has the same level as the number of spells you shuffled in. So that works very well with Cyber Petty's Angel, as mentioned, because you then get a search when that's special summoned, and then there's Herald of Orange Light, which you can go into synchros with. Unfortunately, I don't have any good synchros, so I don't really do that, but it's definitely kind of a solid choice to do. A solid thing to do. And then there's also certain situations where you can even special summon Starter Seraph Scepter and do the stick and chair combo, often after you've already done it in a game. Getting that into a game is great, but doing it twice is fantastic, and this card enables that. It's a very versatile card, and again, you need 3. Next we have 3 ties, and the ties mostly exist because the barrier statue of the Heavens lock. If you have basically any of your level 4s, you get barrier statue, you get honest, and you golden. I already kind of explained it before.
Yeah.
3 might be a bit much because you're probably only going to be doing it once, and it isn't necessarily useful in all situations. That's really up to you. It is discard fodder for Ritual Sanctuary, so it's not necessarily completely useless all the time. But it's certainly, again, that lock certainly adds. I found that when I learnt about that lock, it really added kind of a nice boost to the deck. Because before I was mostly just kind of pumping out Herald and not doing much else, but that adds kind of a certain versatility. Next, there's 3 Dawn of the Herald, and now I probably should have gone through this at the start actually, but the main combo of the deck. Alright, so you have these 3 cards in your hand: the ritual spell, the material for the ritual, and your ritual monster. You activate the ritual spell, tribute that, summon that. Now, when Benton's tributed, I get to select any Light Fairy. Now, when Dawn resolves essentially, or when I summon this, I can then banish Dawn to add one of my tributes back to my hand, my only tribute being Benton. So basically I get to search for a Light Fairy and add Benton back to my hand. So that means that for Herald, which you discard fairies to use its effect, I already have 2 negates in my hand just off that combo. Or I can use, and because that's any Light Fairy, I can then use that to do more combos, like a very standard stick and chair, or I might search out Eva, which is another 3 negates. So just from this combo, you can have 4 negates, and this deck is geared around searching out these cards. And as I've gone through these, I've got tons of search cards that have very general effects. So you can see how consistent and effective this combo is. This isn't the world's most consistent deck, but it's not that inconsistent either. You are going to see this combo a lot first turn, and that's why I like this deck. It's a strong and consistent deck. Almost lastly, there's 2 terraforming. 3 is a bit bricky. It's kind of annoying to kind of. This goes with any deck. Sometimes it can be annoying to kind of draw both terraforming and your field spell. That kind of depends on the deck, but. And lastly, there is Machine Angel Ritual, which is the ritual spell for the Cyber Angels. This is very good discard fodder for Ritual Sanctuary because it has a protection effect while on the grave. So you banish it to protect something if it was going to be destroyed. Aside from that, there is a combo you can do involving Iditen and Benton, where you tribute Benton to summon Iderton. So when Benton's tributed, I get to search. When Iderton's summoned, I then get to search a ritual spell. So this can then allow me to get to Adorn of the Herald and Herald of Perfection, which I then use that to then tribute that to get Herald out on the field. It's a bit of a roundabout way of doing things, but it adds a certain flexibility to the deck, so that's why I'm running just the one, because it's fairly easy to search out. Actually draw into that a lot more than you'd expect, but... So now we go on to the extra deck, which isn't terribly important for Heralds. There's a lot of just generic cards, but some notable cards are probably one of the most notable cards is Akashic Magician. So this card is used specifically in a combo that allows you to do the Stick and Chair combo twice per turn. So Stick and Chair lets you draw at least twice, potentially 3 times, and kind of end up with big beasters on the field that often have kind of powerful destruction effects. This card essentially allows you to do that combo twice, so you're drawing like 4 or 5 cards. You know, really good for kind of just thinning your deck a bit and just kind of keeping your hand full of fairies. That's the important thing, keeping your hand filled with materials for negates. So the combo works by, you do Stick and Chair, and then you link a Scepter and a Sovereignty to create this, and make sure the Sovereignty is linked to it there. Then you use Akashic Magician's effect to return the Sovereignty to your hand. Then use Ritual Sanctuary to then special summon the Scepter back from the grave, and then that initiates a new Stick and Chair combo. So you've done it twice in succession, and you know, the only real requirement here is having 4 spells, aside from like all the other setup, having 4 spells in your grave, which sounds a bit much, but it's not too hard to achieve in this deck, even on first turn. Before I had a duel and I was able to do this first turn. Again, it really just kind of, like, there's no reason not to run this apart from like if it's a bit too pricey. So next there's a Decoy Talker, generic link, really. Again, this card's extra deck could definitely do with some optimization. 2 more important cards are Ouroboros and Deltaros, which you go into with Stick and Chair because they need to go into something that's a rank 4 that takes 3 materials. So Ouroboros is for going first if you get the combo first turn, because you can detach to make your opponent discard a card randomly, which doesn't always go in your favour, but
it's generally pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty okay. Also, the pretty thick attack.
Yep. 2750,
yeah.
The extra 50.
Yeah. Deltaros is very solid for going second, because when you do Stick and Chair and you go into a monster like this, you can then pop a card on the field and then draw another card. So going second, you can pop something on your opponent's board, draw a card, and then use his actual fact where you detach and pop. So that's destroying 2 cards in the field and draw, and well, you don't draw off the second one, but again, it's honestly just the best card to go into, like when you're not going first. Ouroboros occasionally is okay to go into, but Deltaros, like, there's no other card that kind of fulfills that role quite as well as Deltaros I'm aware of. Next we have a bit of a weird choice, Ptolemy M7. So this card has actually kind of won a number of duels for me. Normally they're duels that have really dragged on, and my opponent's kind of generally gone past Herald, but I've been able to stop them from kind of really kind of depleting many of my resources. So essentially what you end up with is you do a combo to kind of get 2 level 6 on the field, then rank into this, and then kind of get rid of something that's causing you trouble, and then attack for game. Or it's good in those kind of clutch situations where both you and your opponent are weak, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And again, I've used him a surprising number of times, and he tends to show up in the duels that I have most fun with, because it's those long ones where a lot of like weird stuff happens. So again, he's definitely one of the most solid cards to go into. Threat and Strike Bouncer I don't see nearly as often, but again, he's kind of solid to go into because he negates stuff.
Yeah, I mean, negates are always good.
Yeah, again, he's beefy. Yeah. Generally, Ptolemy's kind of, I guess, more aggressive, which is why I generally go into him. but he's definitely good for kind of really finishing off your opponent when they're kind of in that weak position, but you really want to ensure that there's no way they can win. Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon uses to get rid of things that are causing you trouble. Don't have too much attack, not much to say there. There's lots of other relatively generic choices that I'll go through very briefly. There's no strictness to this. Really, kind of put whatever you want here. Herald doesn't rely on the extra deck too much. It's only a Kaishik Magician and the 2 rank 4s and maybe Ptolemy M7 that this deck really kind of focuses on. This deck needs. So here I've just got a generic kind of toolbox stuff. Baguska's decent.
Do you not have a lightning, Utopia the Lightning?
No.
So that's the sort of thing that would go in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah. Or you could put Synchros there. As I said, you have Herald of Orange Light is kind of underperforming in my deck right now because I don't have any good Synchros, but he's easy access to level 6 and level 8s. So yeah. Then lastly, we have Fairy Shego. I don't see her often, but if I have 2 level 4s that are just kind of laying around useless, I can go into that and then draw a card. So it's just, again, really trying to get as many pluses as possible and as many fairies as your hand as possible, so you can just lock down your opponent with Herald. And she just supplements that slightly. Not essential, but it's definitely worth running her, I think, especially considering the amount of room in your deck and in your extra deck. It's not too restrictive in what you can play.
Yep. So you don't have a side deck for us today, but you do have a couple of cards that you think might be useful if you want to run a side deck, or maybe as other choices for the main deck sort of thing. So if you want to quickly go through those.
So this list is only a few cards that I quite like. But you might see occasionally is Archel Christia is a I was running him for a long time, but I stopped because I just found him occasionally breaking hands a bit too much because he is situational. Often I draw him at times where I basically already won, and he was definitely good to summon for the meme, and just as a last almost a fuck you, because he's just kind of really ensures that your opponent just can't win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he tends to be in a lot of Herald deck profiles in the main deck because you can get into situations where you can manipulate your graveyard enough to special summon him, and again, this card I kind of prefer Barrier Section Hands because it's much easier to access, but this card can really just shut down your opponent completely and ensure that you win.
Yeah.
There's another card called Gale Dogra, which I want to test with, that you can do combos where you can get Christia out first turn with that. So that's a good reason to run Christia in those Gale Dogra variants.
So Gale Dogra, for those of you that don't know, sends an extra deck monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and you send Herald of the Arclight. And Herald of the Arclight, when it's sent to the graveyard, gets a search for ritual monster or ritual spell. So it's extra searching for you. So
it's you can use it to get instant 2 searches because the cost is 3,000 each. So you pay 6,000 to send both, and you get 2 searches off that. And there's only a couple other cards that you need to have in your hand to do kind of these insane combos where you end with Herald and Christia and do Stick and Chair and often a couple other things. And in Link format, those combos with Gale Dog are even better because you can link Gale Dog away. It's a very weak card, so if your opponent attacks you, they can just attack you and win because your life points are so low, but you can link it away into something better. So that's definitely worth considering. Another card is Upstart Goblin.
It's Upstart.
Yeah.
Extra consistency.
Yeah, sometimes I take Barrier Statue of Light out, or Barrier Statue that happens out, put that in. Boring, but...
Yeah.
Cybrantial Dakini is a decent card that I was running for a while, but again, I kind of felt like it was taking the focus away from Herald very slightly, and I felt that the deck should just be getting around really pushing him out. But she's a very solid card. There's lots, despite her being level 8, there's a surprising you can get to her quite easily, especially with Cyber Petty's Angel often requiring a level 2 requirement. There's lots of combos that allow you to get her out. She's pretty good for outing out difficult things on your opponent's board, because she can make your opponent send a card of their monster of their choosing. I think it's send a monster of their choosing to the graveyard. So that's non-targeting, non-destructive removal. You can get rid of some really nasty threats.
Yeah.
There have been situations where my opponent might have something that is basically indestructible, but I've summoned this and attacked the game.
Yeah.
A pretty thick body as well.
Yeah.
Always the one. So
Waifu cards.
Yeah. So I don't see her much in like Necron profiles, but she's definitely a fun card. Lastly, and this is a weird choice, but Power Ranger Valkyria. So she's a weird choice because she's a level 4 and she's only really good if you already have Herald on the field. And basically, when you negate something, you can search for another fairy once per turn, otherwise it'll be absolutely broken. She'd go from something that I'm like iffy about to run 3 of this all the time, if that wasn't once per turn. But, so basically she gives you 1 extra free negate, and she's got, like, a decent attack, and the art's very pretty.
I mean, true, definitely.
But at the same time, she's a weird card because often when you search through the Benton combo, there are other cards that take priority over her, and you generally don't want to draw into her.
Okay.
So that's why I don't run her.
That's fair.
She's just slightly too bricky. I really want to run her, but she adds up a bit of inconsistency, and this is a deck where you really want to squeeze every bit of consistency into it that you can. So I think that concludes the profile.
Yep. Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you for giving us your deck profile. And if you liked it, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.